Hello, and welcome to my Mind of Your Matter. My name is Rick, and come to you with a heavy heart, um, pretty much broken, because found out today that one of my good friends passed away, and he was a fellow that used to come to my show um, quite often in the past, and he was such a good soul, good person, very it's like why the good gold die young. But he was a good dude. He was really good. His name was Mike, aka My Sky 5D. He was a regular here on my show. Um, I don't know how he passed. I don't know all the details of what happened, but he passed away, and it tends. I always tend to get the bad news at a later time. It's never the day that they die. It's always like weeks or months away. This happened to one of my other friends here, and he had passed away in November, and I found out in January. And now my good friend Mike, that I didn't even know passed away, he just stopped posting videos, and then I so happened just to check out his channel, see where the hell he's been, because it's been a while I haven't seen him or spoken to him. Come to find out, he passed away, and it really devastated me today. And I wanted to share with you guys the last time he had called. He actually came on to the show. Um, I'm going to play it for you guys so you can listen to him. And for those who remember Mike, he was a beautiful soul, awesome spirits. We used to talk about his air guns, and he had all these like different types of air guns, like automatic air guns, and they actually look like real guns, but they were air guns, and they shot BBs. And he was really into the sky and took a lot of videos of the sky and pictures of the sky, and he was really in tune with Mother Nature. And man, he's gonna be missed very much. So with that said, I'm gonna show you guys the last time he had called in, and play it until he's done speaking. When he's done, I'll stop the video, and we're gonna end the video on that note. So it just sucks when the good die young. It tears me apart. And this episode that he had came on was a medical emergency that I had. It was actually another medical emergency that I had, and I did a show about it. But I'm not doing this. I'm not showing you guys the whole show. We're not. You guys want to go and watch the show? You're more than welcome to. It's in my log under my Mind of Your Matter, the original show, because I am back on my original channel. My timeout is over with YouTube. They taken me out of timeout. They took the dunce cap off my head, pulled me from the corner, and gave me my channel back. So what a great time to bring my channel back with this tribute to my good late friend Mike, aka My Sky 5D. It's hard to even say that. That's just you guys don't understand. But let's go ahead and share. Albie was here during that show too, so we're gonna go ahead and tap into this.
But let's go ahead and bring in my Sky 5D. Hey, what's up?
Hey Rick, how you doing?
How you doing, bud? Man, it's been a while.
Man, it's been a while. It's been a wild process. This whole process of ascension and moving to 5D, right?
Yeah, man, it's been very uplifting and very like energetic. It's like I feel that energy.
Yeah, same. And what I do is I paid attention to the sky enough that I can tell when we're having that energy come in and that you know, charged cosmic particles and stuff. You can see it in the sky. It'll turn the clouds all rainbowy, and you
Mm-hmm.
feel it. It's like a buzziness in your chest and head.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a positive aspect on all this, that it's actually those exotic elements and particles that are interacting with us in a cellular way, and helping raise our consciousness and bring all these changes on.
And bring up the awareness to the changes.
Yeah, right. And I really find, like, everybody's so sold out at geoengineering and HARP and nanobots and all this. That's just putting people in a fear victimization vibration, which, if we are, that might interfere with the cellular upgrades we're getting.
Yeah, and it's this constantly upgradation, right? We're doing a full upgrade in our nation here in the states, but not only here but
Hmm.
around the world.
Hmm. Yeah,
Frequency.
and so what I think it is that, you know those particles in our magnetosphere going down, that's photonic light potential and energy that's coming in. So there's more light, or a higher frequency of light that's on the planet right now, and it's going to push the darkness up to the surface to be released. That's why we see all this chaos going on, is because the energies are changing, and it's the age of Aquarius that's coming in and affecting things. So,
And you think like a lot of this cosmic energy that's coming through is hampering a lot of things that are going on.
well, yeah, it's definitely changing things for sure. And then, the nefarious aspect, or the controllers, whoever, I don't want to put names all to them and that and give them too much credit, but they would probably rather have us in that fear and victimization vibration instead. And they're happy enough to let us think it's them doing all that stuff, because then we're not, looking at the real truth of the matter, and it
Hmm.
keeps us in that lower state, that lower vibration of it's them doing all this.
Yeah,
It's definitely more.
it's like when every time we see like the chemtrails and stuff, we blame the government. We blame. It's always a blame, but there's never an
Yeah,
answer to what's
yeah,
going on.
yeah. Nobody has any positive thing that they could be doing. And I heard you say it for sure, and I'm down with that. You're saying, hey, they're helping put a little barrier layer up there to
Hmm.
block some of that, to help us adapt to it, gradually adapt to this stuff, so we don't get blasted out at one time.
Hmm.
Would make perfect sense that on those certain days where we have higher amounts of energy coming in, that they would put that up there. And
Yeah.
not that it's going to stop it and all that, or hinder us so much, but it's giving people time to adapt to it. Our bodies aren't used to handling that many photonic light uh, energetics. So, it's probably given us some time to prepare. And then again, when I think about this COVID virus,
Mhm.
what a great way to get a catalyze an event, thing like that, if they needed to make something happen. Because if we're going to have food shortages and crisis, and these weather events are going to get worse, we really need to have more of an essential based economy, where we're going to be having the things we need to keep us alive, instead of having Rolls Royces and Rolex watches and shit like that.
Hmm.
And you think about the other distractions have been removed. The sporting events,
Hmm.
stripper clubs until maybe recently, bars, all that entertainment distraction stuff has been taken away, and it's given people time to sit down, sit back, and think about, and help them on their process of awakening. I think
Yeah,
it was a brilliant idea.
it's a very smart idea.
You got to think that a lot of people are sitting at home right now, question, hey, what's up,
Hmm.
and they're having their process. And we're on that treadmill of life. We don't really have time to, sit back and find out what, the energies are doing, what 5D consciousness means, and things like that. So those distractions kind of kept people in an unconscious state of mind. Take
Yeah.
them away, and I think they're going to start asking. I'm sure that more people are waking up. It might not seem like it in that, but I think it is.
Yeah, little by little, people are waking up and seeing things for what it is, and it's just how that's what's so cool about like not watching TV and just mostly better talking with amongst others than
Mm-hmm.
be watching TV, because I just feel like the TV is just it's just a hypnosis device where it keeps you like like pretty much zombied onto the
Mhm.
and there's people that watch TV like crazy. Like they're addicted. It's like it's worse than any drug.
Hey,
And it,
I wanted to say hello to Darlene in the chat. Hello,
yeah,
Darlene. Hello, keep it real.
yeah, Darlene's awesome. She's so
Yeah.
cool. She
So,
went to feed her
good.
puppy. she went to she said she was gonna come back right back. She's gonna feed her puppies and she'll be right back.
Cool. She's very supportive. I see her all over the community supporting everyone. That's great.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this virus thing, I think it's kind of a way to get us more essential based minded and things. Because you think about all the millions of people that worked at theaters, arenas, all the sporting things, all the people that are connected to that. That's a big chunk of our population sitting back right now.
hmm And not
So,
only that, but you start thinking about the food and all the food that's
mhm.
gonna be backing up because remember all this stuff is pre-ordered, so it's like it's already ready for consumption, but yet now they can't push it out because there's no one to give it to. So like there's like an influx of hot dogs and burgers and all the stuff that is just in freezers right now.
Yep. And
So
yet it's so there's no telling how long all this could take. So it's not like we're saying, hey, this year, next year, whatever. This is a gradual process, I believe, of this because we've been seeing it accelerate. If you look at the channels like Last Messages or um, World of Signs, and they show all these extreme events, weather events, and earth changes that are going on. It's been happening for like the last 3-4 years, and at a high rate. Now it seems like it's getting worse because have China have 40 plus million people displaced and their crops all gone. They're going to be putting a big um, demand on the rest of the world's seed grain and food supply. They're going to be having to order it out and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty smart to try to grow some food and try to and stock some stuff up, but
mhm.
there's not a whole lot more we can do about it. There's the reason that we're going to have food shortage is not just the flooding and the extreme weather like that, but during these times where there's more cosmic particulates in the atmosphere, it makes more clouds at different layers that we usually don't have. So that's going to cut down our photosynthesis.
Mhm.
Plants
Mhm.
won't be putting out the same type of yield. They wouldn't get as much food off them. So
You don't get the full prism. You get like a portion of the prism, and just
mm-hmm.
a portion of it can like mutate or like have crop failure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's really wild how there's such a push, well, in our community and online, that all this is being done against us and not for us. It's like I don't know why it's hard. It's so hard to get past that us and them paradigm. But what if? Here's my perspective. What if there is no us and them, and it's all just one thing? That this whole creation, this whole realm of creation, and every one of us and everything that's in it is actually source consciousness. Think about being God, omnipotent, omnipotent, and omnipresent, all knowing, all doing, all everything for
Mhm.
eternity by himself, but in a dark atmosphere, in the darkness of space, going for
Mhm.
eternity. No. So hey, wait a minute. How about fractalizing himself into this realm and all of us, and going into it, forgetting who he is, and then it's us through our experiences here, reliving and remembering that we're all him, that we're all it.
Mhm.
That there's only one thing here, and that so this realm of duality and polarity gives us those experiences of total separation and then total reconnection.
Hmm. Makes sense.
Well, that's just it's a high perspective. It's hard to hold because we're here in this physical reality plane or reality. So it's hard to hold those higher ideas of everything is just one thing here. But if you look at it, people talk about law of attraction and stuff and what we manifest and how things happen to us in our lives. I think we manifest most all of the situations and things that happen to us by our thought forms. And if the nefarious aspect can get us to focus on victimization and this and that and whatever else, we produce that ourselves. You know,
Yeah.
that the conscious field of God and source, divine source, is always saying yes to more creation and to more, right? So if we get up and say, oh shit, I don't have enough gas to get to work today, and you get in your car and you try to go, sure enough, you don't have enough gas, and you run out and there's nobody there to help you because your belief said you didn't and you weren't gonna, so the universe says, yes, I'll give you that experience, the experience you think of, So, but if we get up and we go, all right, oh, I'm close, I'm gonna be out of gas before I get to work, but I'm gonna give it to the universe and just go with no doubt that you're gonna make it and go, and you might run out 5 miles before work. And when you run out, there's gonna be someone right there with a can of gas, coincidentally ready to hand it to you so you can continue on your way. So you don't doubt it, but on the way to work, if you doubted it at 1 minute, for 1 second, you look down and you say, "Oh, I'm really not going to make it." Boom! The universe says, "Yes, you will." So it's our thought forms that are creating things around us.
Yeah. And our thought process, it's very strong. We have very strong energy in our thoughts.
Right, and as they say in the Bible, it said there'll come a time when we need to hold our thoughts captive. Don't let crazy thoughts come in because those things will manifest at a high rate in our life. So anyway, here's what I did the other night. I was on a live stream, Captain Late Night live stream. It was just me and him on there for a couple hours. But the second hour into it, I started talking about paragliding. And, well, I started talking first about being psychic. I said, so many psychic abilities, upgrades activating on you? There's like kind of, yeah, some synchronicity stuff that seems really odd. And I said, well, we talked about that. And then we started talking about paragliding. You know what paragliding is, or paramotors?
Yes.
Yeah. So they have a big fan on their back and a parachute over. And I
Mhm.
started talking, he goes, I don't know what you're talking about. I've never seen those and all. I'm like, oh, here. So I sent him a video link. And we went over and started watching it. We started talking. He goes, oh my God, that looks fun. It looks great. Talked to it for like the rest of the hour. It was early in the morning. He goes, okay, I got to go. And he went straight outside to his porch to have a cigarette or whatever. He looks up and there's a paramotor flying over his house.
Wow.
He goes, are you kidding me?
Mhm.
That's not a coincidence. For us to sit there and talk about it that much and put that much intent and focus on it, manifested one in his reality. So it shows you how the things that we think about will manifest in our reality. He said, I've never seen those before. And the timing was perfect. He said, if we would have got off this live stream 5 minutes later or 5 minutes before, he wouldn't have seen it. It was just when it was right over his house. So he made a video of it. And he said right in the video, let's talk about, well, this is how this went. Me and My Skies 5D were just sitting here talking about being psychic and then talking about paramotors, never seen in his life. He went outside and boom, here it is. He goes, that's way more than coincidence.
I do that a lot too. It's just that ability is so cool when you see it, you feel it, and then all of a sudden, you see it, and you're like, wait, how did he know? So it's like that mystery of not knowing and then seeing it and believing it. It gives you that goosebumps all over your body.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit! How did you know?
So I was struggling, since this virus thing with no work and not getting any unemployment. And I sat here and I kind of just, I dwelled on it a lot and kind of felt bad and, wasn't feeling and thinking that nice about it or good about it. But I sat here long enough and I realized, hey, just give it to the universe again. Try this out, right? See if it works. So I'm sitting here on the automatic redialer trying to get a hold of the unemployment office. You had to call in. It could take several days, but I was only like 2 weeks and nothing, right? Auto redial all day long. And I looked over at this, my friend was sitting there by me and I go, all right, that's it. It's time to ask for help. I'm calling in my cloud friends. She looked over and said, what do you think your cloud friends are going to do? Your clouds are going to do for you? I said, well, they're going to change the atmospheric particles and energy and energies around their office and make them more conducive to answering my call. She just looked away and said, good luck with that. 5 minutes later, They pick up the phone. I got all my back unemployment. 3 days later, I had, all my back unemployment in my hand. I'm like, are you? That's how responsive the universe is.
It's very like yeah, it's so cool how it responds quickly too. It's like it doesn't you don't need like a whole lot of time. Sometimes it's that rapidly.
Yeah, and then the other thing is to not to have too many attachments on how it needs to come to you. Just let it come however, don't say, oh, it needs to be this color, this size, it has to be on this day and here and there. Just give it to the universe, and when the universe, works it out, it'll be there, and it'll be in some way you probably never figured, So it's real important at that point to stay in the frame of mind of receiving it and observe the opportunity when it comes.
Yeah, when you need, the universe will always provide.
Mm-hmm.
It's just putting the mind to it and putting the energy to it, and it will always provide for you.
Yeah, and it's really it's hard to believe. At first, you're like, no way, my thoughts just can't make things happen. I don't know, they really can, and it's not just your thoughts. It's your thoughts, and it's not just believing, but having faith and stuff like that. You just let it go and see how it comes, and it happens a lot where it'll come, and then I don't recognize it because I was looking for it to come in a certain way, or I had my perceived idea of how it had to be or how it was going to be.
Yeah.
And then shortly afterwards, I realized, oh, that was my opportunity when I asked for this, that it came, but it looked like this. And it might be something totally different. It might be, well, it wasn't the bicycle I wanted, but it was a friend or a situation that would have led to that bicycle if I would have not doubted it and flowed with the energy.
Yeah, it's like it comes in different ways. It's not like it comes in like a direct message, like a burning bush, And it's like it's not gonna come like that. It's so many ways it comes to you.
Yeah, and then here's another thing, like everybody wants us to be in this victimization about it's the government doing this and the government doing that. That's a heavy mindset to hold on to. To walk around. If you hear anybody that talks about all this victimization weapons they use on us and everything, they I don't see where. Let me get my head out of this. Okay, so
with the weaponization, like as far as like the new ways of weapons.
Yeah, I don't really see that. Okay, if they're supposed to have all of this technology and they have nanobots and micro this and nano, and they have frequencies and they have weather warfare, they can just wipe whole cities or whatever. We haven't seen that, but you know what I mean.
They have so much. They have so much things. Like right now, even the police officers, they just got these like smart helmets. They're called. They're kind of like smart police helmets that scans body temperatures and biometrics and uses facial recognition at real time. These are that they have now and that the police are going to start using.
Yeah, here's the thing. How the narrative of 5G and frequencies and antennas and all this shit is victimizing us and controlling us. How does that work? Do you see a police officer car? Listen to me. I was in a police officer car a few years ago. He has 5 mirrors or 5 camera monitors on his rear view mirror, back, front, side, inside, outside. They're all Wi-Fi to his mirror where he can monitor. He doesn't have to take his head off the road. He can see everything that's going around him. He has his body camera, Wi-Fi body camera on him. He has high-speed internet in there. He has X-band radar. He has his personal handheld or cell phone. He has his handheld work device. He has all those antennas up there. Are we supposed to believe they're exempt from all these frequencies and they ride around in that car 12 hours a day? Are they not going to be the first ones affected? I mean, how is it going to pick everybody on the bus to mind control and poison and victimize, but not the bus driver? He's going to stop at every red light. I'm just saying. If it's okay, and then if it was that good, people that come out and talk about this, like let's use a couple names, Dane Wigington, because he's never elevated his perception except the victimization of this. Richie from Boston, another one. why can't they just shut? If they got nanobots and frequencies, why can't they just vaporize these fools or have them drop over or go out and self suicide? Or nope, they don't. There's nothing they can do. They don't shut them off, take them off their channels or nothing. They let them sit out here and project and propagate all that victimization narrative to us. What if they have these kind of weapons? Why don't they just have a tornado come and take his ass out and shut his ass up? No, they don't care. They want us to fucking believe all the shit that they tell us they're doing. You know, I mean, and then people will go, this is one that gets me. Oh, there's a universal law that they have to tell us what they're doing to avoid karmic justice or something. That doesn't fucking make sense. Somebody that, okay, the devil that's known nothing but a lie. Now we're supposed to have to believe him because there's a karmic law that says he has to tell us. Like, so they tell us, but they don't tell us straight out. They put it in symbology and all this and that. And that is that going to work for me if I go up and on the chalk with chalk in front of a bank? I write some like graffiti shit saying I'm going to come back and rob the place. I put little notes on people's windows in some obscure language or some form and say I'm going to do it. And then so when I do it, I'm going to get away with it. How does that work? Doesn't clear, but that does give people that want to keep us confused and locked into that victimization fear want to know they want us to believe that they have to that's why these people are so good at telling us all this shit that they're doing to us and not having a better idea to do anything except tell your aunt, your uncle, and your grandfather about it. They're so brilliant they can tell us every frequency and every molecule and every motive behind why we're being victimized, but the best thing they can do is have my grandmother and my uncle be in anxiety over it. I mean, those people aren't brilliant enough to tell us and to know and find out what's going on. Why don't they have a better idea of how to fix it? But, you know, if the nefarious aspect knows that that keeps us in a lower vibration of fear, they're going to tell us they're doing all that. And why would they, how could the elite or the people that are doing this to us poison themselves along with it? Well, it's because they eat different, have different antidotes. I don't, but okay. Then again, they want us gone so bad off this planet, they're willing to burn and ruin and pollute the top side of this planet to get rid of us. Because why? They have, and then go live in bunkers for hundreds of years till it fixes itself, or because they have magical technology to fix it when we're gone. If they had that kind of magical technology, they wouldn't need to ruin the top side of this planet to get rid of us. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how does that work? Okay, and by the way, if you wanted to get rid of a bunch of people off the planet so you could do whatever it is you want to do, would you really be willing to sit there and let it poison everything around you and then watch it all go down? I don't think so. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't hold water.
Yeah, and like everything is just. I feel like it's just a mess right now. Even the vibration in water, because nobody really checks up on the water and how the water is reacting to like this cosmic energy.
Mm-hmm.
And the waters are acting weird. Even the plants, like plants are acting weird.
Okay, I checked that out too. The water, when I was in filming a stream the other day, and the sun was in the reflection there, you could see the little sparkle energy particles around the reflection of the sun on the water. And then the other day I was at the same creek a little further up, and I caught a water elemental. So out of the side of this shallow creek was a snake-like looking energy. The serpentine moving, half of it looked underwater and half of it looked like it was raised up on top of the water like a fly fishing line. It's on my channel. You'd have to go back and look up water elemental. Mm-hmm. You'll see it. So that thing sat there with this type of frequency or current pulling the snake out in the water, and it's totally see-through. Or I mean, I could move my hand through it and I couldn't change its direction or anything, what it was doing. So it is happening in the water for sure.
Yeah, they're manipulating the water too. Like you can see, even when it snows, you can see the different snowflakes. Not one snowflake is the same. It's all different.
Yeah, well, here's the thing again. I don't see where. Okay, they want to say that they have weather warfare, that the stuff is being used against us to do whatever. So where's it happening? What's the anomaly? Well, they're having all these fires in California. I said, oh, you mean where they traditionally had fires for whatever? Well, they're having these crazy tornadoes and shelf clouds. Oh, where at? Oh, Tornado Alley. Mm-hmm. So they're not just taking these things and going and wiping some shit out that they never get over there. And where have we seen? okay, if it's weaponized weather in warfare, where's the significant amount of casualties? They're not taking out a whole city or town. Even in the floods in China, floods out of a weather disaster kill more people than anything. There's still only like a couple hundred people or something that have died from all them floods. I mean, the secondary death that might come from it because of the sanitation and other things, sure. But are we to believe that these people in government are going to go along with sitting there watching their whole society diminish? I don't know. I can't see how they could get everybody in the world to go along with it unless they have some empirical knowledge that something's coming from space, like this energy, and that a pole shift is possible to happen. And enough of the people around say, yeah, okay, let's run a COVID psyop to get people's mind right. Because when the shit goes down, we don't want everybody surprised by it that, oh, there's no food. And I've been trying for the last 3 years to put all my money into buying a freaking Rolex watch. And now I got nothing to try to get food with. You know, so this is a way to help people wake up, if you ask me.
Yeah, they need to put their priorities straight.
And I can see that, you know, I go out and talk to people in public all the time about this stuff. I'm finding all kinds of people that are down with this type of narrative and realize something's up. And I just don't push that victimization shit anymore on anybody, because when I first woke up, I was like, oh, I want to do it like Dane Wigington does or Richie from Boston. Just tell everybody all the bad news. Like that was my end to fix it, right? And I focused and projected everything out externally that was going on. I didn't look what personal changes and inner changes can I make and observe about myself that might help. You know, it's all, I can't fix it, so I need everybody else to wake up. And that's a victimization state when you buy into that much and you think that it elevates your ego or whatnot to think, oh, you got it all. You and these other little people or these few people on YouTube got it all figured out, and everybody else's inner knowing and connection to divine source is broken. That's us and them. That's us and them right away. When the whole thing that this film is trying to keep from us is our divine connection and our connection to the one, to the all.
Well, sounds right.
So the fact is that there's really in my opinion, the higher belief, which is hard to accept and conceive in my head or anybody's, that all of this is only one thing. This is all source consciousness, God, whatever you want to call it or whatever you want to say, that it's all one thing, that it's so entirely perfect and loves itself so much that we all have an intricate fractal part of the whole that we're irreplaceable without. But I don't think there is an us and them, but we're all here to have this experience of separation and reconnection. Like
No, you're right on that, because they want the separation and reconnection. We need that reattachment right now. It's like I feel like everyone's not.
Yeah, well, we're having those experiences that bring us there, that help grow and expand our consciousness. Because we don't just, you can't expect somebody that's born at 14 or 21 or whatever to have the same higher aspect of consciousness than older people, right? I mean, there's experiences that we get in our life that help us realize who we are, and maybe some of us aren't signed up for this lifetime to realize it. You know what I mean? Maybe there's other lifetimes that they come back and relive to actually have this experience and make it full, make the reconnection.
And like with everything, it's all within time, because like you learn these vibrations, you learn about these energies as you grow older. You know, they don't teach you this when you're young. They don't teach you this growing up or even going to school. When have you go to school and they talk about energy or talk about like physical? Like no, they don't. They'll teach you their narrative and what's on their agenda. You know, they don't teach you that you have the power to do what you want to do and be able to control the outlook of your reality.
Which in some ways, I think that how could you give? Okay, so say that when we realize our power and our energies and who we really are, you have those type of abilities like God might have or something, right? Or close to it. Well, you wouldn't just give a young toddler or a young child a loaded gun. So maybe we need to go through these experiences so we know how to use the powers we have. Because if I would have, back in my youth, if I would have thought I had that kind of ability and access, my consciousness would have probably done harm to myself or others. You know, I mean, I wasn't wise enough to use it properly. Because even the things that I did get, the things that I had in my life, I had drug issues and some, other issues that I had to go through. And I don't look at those as victimization negatives anymore. I go, hey, that was a conscious experience that I got to learn from and grow. And that without that, I wouldn't have had, like, without those periods of separation, we wouldn't appreciate or understand or feel the reconnection, right? So we're here to experience the duality, to get contrast, so we know where the center is, where the bliss is, where source is. Mm-hmm.
Dylan, you're no continue. I'm enjoying. Or
Yeah. So
you have a beautiful mind.
Yeah. So what I realized is, I woke up in 2009. I had to learn how to get online and go through all those things. And it wasn't like, okay, God in my meditation or in my life or in anywhere came and tapped me on the shoulder and said, Mike, there's something going on here in the world and I need you to go fix it. You know what I mean? It was me. I got on the internet and found these people pushing this narrative and I bought into it. I didn't ask God first or my higher self or my better thinking or conscience. I just ran with what was on the internet. And that dismantled my life. As I first did is I was in a union, stagehand union. And I worked with lots of people. So anyway, as I started learning this stuff, I started sharing it with everybody around me. And they're like, oh shit, here he comes again. He's going to tell us how we're all being poisoned and frequency victimized. You think anybody wants to be around that shit? No, they don't. And all I was doing was going around projecting this big, anxiety hell bubble of mine that I picked up on the internet and wanted other people to experience that because I thought it was going to fix the problem. Like I thought my uncle and my union steward were going to have some idea how to fix it that I didn't. And I still don't understand how everybody waking up at one time, what it is we're going to do to fix all this stuff. I think that the things that are going on, I think that all these things of chaos that we see and darkness and unconsciousness are there as signposts and as signs to show us that this is who we're not, and this is an opportunity for us to choose love over fear.
Mm-hmm.
And that without those, we might not, we wouldn't have the choice if we didn't have both sides of this, both sides of the duality here, is to give us the perspective of why that's not us and what it is else we can do.
Yeah, and what else can we do for ourselves to help us through what we're going through?
So yeah, and I realized back when I started this was to, I got on my channel and I started putting up chemtrails and I would go to people's live streams. I go, they're using HAARP to control our minds. There's nano poisoning and everything. I would just spout out this doombot comments to everybody. You think that brought anybody back to my channel? Hell no. Same thing. Dismantled my online life almost, And it took long enough that when I dismantled all that shit from my life and all the distractions were gone, I started looking and then I found out about the energy and the healing and the kind of inner work we can do. And that started it for me right there. Then the process started to really begin, because I got out of the fear victimization narrative. I need everybody else to save me instead of looking at myself and find out, how I can come to peace with being here and why we're here and what it's all about. So that's what helped me quite a bit. And then I went with that with my channel. I was looking at the sky and feeling every day going out in life, feeling victimized every freaking chemtrail I'd see. And then I would feel flabbergasted that, oh, why am I the only one? Why can't all these other people understand what's going on? Well, it's because that's just a perceived idea I put in my head about it. People that, what other people's idea was told me, and I took that in personally and ran with it. So I felt victimized. So then 2 years of that went by and I started doing the energy work and I looked up and one day the sky just popped. It was an entity in the cloud. You could just totally tell by its frequency signature pattern and it's nothing else around it. And that it was something intelligent and it started to make contact with me, like started just every time I'd go out, not every time, but it was real consistent that you could tell when I'd go out, there'd be nothing else going on in the sky, and then something would start up right over me. And if you look at my videos, you can see the type of weirdness and those rainbow clouds. So that's me and me projecting, like they say, the mystery moto. If you bless up water and do nice things and say nice things to water, it's going to form brilliant, beautiful crystalline structures when you film it. And if not, you don't. Well, it's the same thing with the sky. So when I was going out cursing the sky and pissed off at everybody because they weren't waking up to fix it, what was the sky giving me? It was giving me ugliness and victimization. That's all I could see up there in it. Once I turned that around, it started to look like angels and other entities. And then I started realizing at the timing of it, hey, I can use those things to inspire myself to get off drugs, which I did without going to treatment or anything else. I just daily had these cloud entities or this cloud, attention that I could go out and not have the desire to do drugs again. So it's changed my life that way.
Right on. Now, do you feel like these clouds are always like hovering around you and above you?
I feel that they're my angelic guides or my higher self guides. Totally. And they're providing this content. If you look at how organic this content is, it's pretty cool that we can just go out and film the sky every day, and we have a whole community of people around understanding what that's about. That's it's more than victimization, because people in the chemtrail things, that's a process. And I realize also that so everything that's out here, all the chaos and darkness, and even these concepts and victimization things are just catalysts on the process of somebody's awakening. When you first wake up, and you first realize that your energy is felt by other people and you're feeling other people's energy, it's disorienting. And a lot of people feel gang stalked. Right off the rip, they get this, their pineal gland opens up, their consciousness bubble expands, and now they're starting to understand there's energy interchanges and interactions, and they feel gang stalked by it. They feel that person over there in that car, the way he parked, and because he's there at this time, and he glanced their way, that's somebody's doing something against them. And it's just them kind of reading other people's energies and stuff. And I was in that for a couple of years. I felt gang stalked, when my family and nobody else would talk to me and everything. I felt, and then I looked around, I picked up on the internet, gang stalking, and I was like, oh shit, is that what's going on with me? And I thought that, and the more I would think it and buy into that, the more it would be replicated in my environment. The more I would see it. So it taught me what the clouds taught me to do would be responsible for my thought forms and my beliefs and my attachments, because that's what creates the reality around me. I lived those 4 years in chemtrail hell or the victimization of all that. I swore I was going down, and I thought in like 2015, when we had Mike Brown in St. Louis get shot by the cop, and they had the National Guard come in and everything there. And what else do we have that year? We had a FEMA camp, Walmart conversions, and Jade Helm and Ebola. You think I didn't think it was going down right then, like people think it's going down right now? And what did I do? I ran around to all the people around me and told everybody, we need to get rice, beans, bandages, and bullets. And they looked at me like, oh, crap, you've lost it. I go, no, man, come on, look at this video. Look at Jade Helm. Look at. Nope. None of that shit happened, did it? None of it fruitioned out where people got put into FEMA camps and hauled away. All that shit didn't happen, but they projected it out there on the internet. So I think about it. Well, how much of that did I create by me focusing on that? Me taking it in? That's my reality. I was living that shit in 2015, 16. I thought this shit was going down. I don't know if you did or not, but a lot of other people, and the same people that push that shit now were pushing it back then. And, so anyway, I realized, hey, that was still just a catalyst for me. The universe put that experience out there because it's what I focused on. It's what I learned from. So that's what I learned from to get to this place now where I don't see the victimization and realize the higher aspects that we can have and contribute by what we do from inside ourselves, and how we think, believe, and feel are more important than the outward look of what things appear to be.
Yeah. I was, I was just here. I just got a message. My buddy's gonna bring me some medicine, and I was like, "Oh no, I didn't want to smoke medicine," but he's like, "It'll make your stomach feel better."
Yeah, no, I eat it. I eat cannabis more than smoke.
Yeah,
I really like it. They have some great products here in Oregon.
I want to go to Oregon so bad. If I go to Oregon, I'm definitely gonna have to meet up with you out there so you can show me
Yeah,
around,
for
especially
sure.
at Ireland, because if I go out there, I'm just gonna take like a straight shot. I've never done it
Hmm.
before, but I've always wanted to do. I want to drive from where I'm at, Connecticut, all the
Hmm.
way across to Oregon, and then
Yeah,
of course I want to, go to different places and see different things. I definitely want to stop in Colorado. So
yeah,
if I'm going to Oregon, I'll definitely bring you something from Colorado.
well, I'm from Colorado myself. I
There
worked with the union stagehand out there at Red Rocks and all the venues for over 10 years.
There you go. You see what we're talking about
Mhm.
like with like I said Colorado. I could have said any other state, but I said
Yeah,
Colorado.
that's a synchronicity. Yeah, that's how they add up.
Like the flying the with the flying dude. It's like the with the how you call those dudes, the parasailers.
Yep.
Um, I think those are cool. I'm so afraid because I'm kind of like afraid of heights, but then I can feel the tranquility of being that high, and you're in control. You know,
Hmm.
pretty much you have control of your vehicle. If your propeller fails, then you could glide. Um,
Hmm.
so
Yep.
if your glider gets messed up, you could cut it all, and then you could
You have a reserve parachute. Yeah.
reserve parachutes so you can have a safe landing. Um,
So I just went and looked, and it's $2,500 for a 4 day training
mhm.
seminar, 4 day training course, and they make sure you get up and do 3 or 4 self launch flights. And they don't want you to buy your gear ahead of time and expect to use it there because they're not going to be comfortable training you on somebody else's product. So they have the gear there for $2,500. I can learn to fly the paramotor and launch myself. And then afterwards, I looked in the paramotors that go for between $5,000 and $10,000.
Yeah, yeah, they do. And I knew someone actually. Man, I forgot his YouTube channel. I think I spoke to you about him.
Yeah,
The
yeah, he in Carolina.
Yeah. What's his
Hmm.
name? Something Got is his last name.
Yeah, Tucker got Tucker
Tucker.
got.
There you go, Tucker Got.
Hmm. He's
He
made a life out of it.
Yeah, and he's actually giving away a training session and with the
Uh-huh.
paramotor and everything, like a whole
Yeah.
package.
Yep.
You know,
And check this out. Again, if chemtrails are as deadly and frequencies up there are as deadly as they wanted us to believe, you know how many people do that sport? I mean, millions. Not just that, but hot air balloons, hang gliders, paramotors, paragliders, skydivers, regular gliders. They're all up there high up in the atmosphere for hours and hours unprotected. I think all those people would go up there and all they do when they're on the ground is they're looking up. Is this a time I could fly? Is it good to fly now?
oh, he dropped off. No, he'll be back. He just dropped off. Like it just a whoop.
Yeah,
It's all good. But the paramotor, like Tucker, when he because he likes to do these like videos, and it's so funny when he goes to like Chick-fil-A and he goes to Starbucks and McDonald's and he's flying in to pick up his meals. I think that's very
I like to
creative.
fly fucking helicopters.
Helicopters.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be cool to learn and learn how to fly a helicopter. I mean, I'm scared just of heights, but like when I'm up and above, I feel more comfortable too. So it's like it's like the yin and the yang. You get what you get, and the good and the bad. Yeah, I'm afraid of heights, but then once you're up there, it feels so relaxing and so peaceful. And you would think that these individuals, they go parasailing and they go on these excursions with these paramotors. You don't see them like getting attacked by all this crazy stuff that's in the air or having difficulties. Actually, they breathe better and they experience like their experiences is so much different. They bring in this guy. Hey, buddy, you back?
Yeah, my cheek must have disconnected me. Yeah, and you think about it. Okay, so those cosmic energies that are coming in and activating us, maybe they're closer to them up there. Maybe they're getting great disclosure and activation and energy up there, and it's like the fountain of youth. And they're not telling everybody. You know what I mean? They're not going to tell everybody that hey, we're fountain of youth up in the atmosphere when these, they don't really shut them down or anything from it. So I just saying, it's a lot of people. If you look at these, there's a channel called the World Cup paragliding channel.
Mm-hmm.
They go around every 2 or 3 months. They're in a different location around the world. And there's like 200 or 300 of them. They all go up at the same time and they fly in big groups. There's like different tasks and missions that they have to fly a certain way in a certain pattern and things up there to win this World Cup. And they're all up there together. I'm thinking, wait a minute. Why doesn't Dane Wigington or any of these people that talk about the victimization of all this chemtrail, and their only answer, again, I haven't heard a better answer to stop any of it, except, well, we need you to wake your family and your neighbors and your friends up to it. Well, like, what is my neighbor, the guy that pumps gas down the thing, or my friend, the bags groceries, going to have any idea what the hell's going on up there and have any louder voice than anyone else? But why wouldn't these people like Dane Wigington and all them say, hey, you guys realize there's a whole community of sky sport enthusiasts that spend intimate amounts of time up there, and if you needed to get samples or find out how deadly or dangerous it is and find out what their symptoms and bodies going, why don't we all casually go over there on the YouTube? They got tens of thousands or more channels, right? All these, they spend a lot of intimate time up in the atmosphere. Why wouldn't they suggest we all go start talking to them? Just casually go over and say, hey, I'm thinking about getting into hot air ballooning, but I had some concern when I see those chemtrails, those jets leaving the trails up there, and ask what their perspective. Maybe they're all just unaware of it. They spend all that time up there, they're trying to be safe, and they just don't look up and get it. No, you know what I'm saying? Come on, that doesn't make sense. So why wouldn't they suggest? I'm telling you, it's better than making the gas station union get together and try to stop chemtrails. These people that spend intimate amounts of time up there, that their safety and their lives depend on it, why wouldn't somebody suggest we go talk to them?
Yeah.
Well, it's because they're not confirming it. They're not confirming that victimization narrative. They spend that intimate amounts of time up there, and none of them are dead or dying from it.
Like the pilots and stuff, like from the airlines and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Here's the deal. This is why those chemtrails persist and look different. On certain days when we have higher amounts of UV and radiation from cosmic particles, it makes them persist longer. Now the government's probably realized, hey, we'd like to monitor and keep good track of the magnetosphere and see if we can learn and get some kind of timeline on how this is going to go down. So they're going to fly in certain areas and at certain times to let those trails go up and show them what the energies are doing in the sky. Doesn't mean it has to be poison. They could be using queso cheese whiz for all I know. And it would make sense because I always want margaritas and nachos lately. So it's probably queso cheese whiz they're spraying. But anyway, it just doesn't make sense that humans would spray around themselves to get rid of us. When, I'm just saying. So I'm over the victimization narrative, and I realize some people have to have that catalyst. And I don't find a flat Earth holding water or Mandela doesn't resonate with me, but those doesn't mean that those things aren't a catalyst for somebody else to help them along their path of this awakening. Because that's what chemtrails and other parts of the stuff were for me.
Yeah.
A catalyst.
I mean, today here in Connecticut, they were spraying today.
Yeah.
They were spraying heavily today.
Yeah. And then
But
again, if you think about it, why would they be so precise and do it on one day and not the other day and have nobody underneath? Okay, so I could see if they came out one day and they sprayed so heavy and everybody forgot to stop at red lights and they had mass accidents and shit around. Then I could see a victimization going on from it. But if they're spraying heavy and everybody's stopping at red lights, nobody's, in general, nobody's doing anything all that much different. Where's the victimization again? I just don't see. Why would they spend time putting all this chemtrail down in one little area and not have a desired effect from it right away.
Mhm.
I mean, I've been a weather bubble of bliss. There hasn't been one extreme thing in weather that's happened like the rest of the world here in Portland. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I'm just saying. I'm over the victimization, but I'm just telling you.
Yeah. You
Most
just
people are.
done with the being a victim, and now you're trying to be proactive.
And then exactly, there's a lot of people that have gone through this chemtrail experience with me, this geoengineering or the sky
Mhm.
catalyst, and they've gone full circle just like me, or they've come to my channel and we've talked it out together, and they're like, yeah, this is more supernatural or spiritual going on up there than government. And I
Mhm.
don't think the government even actually wants us to know that this stuff that's coming in right now, these particles, put us in a higher manifestation rate. You know, where we're manifesting things a lot faster right now. Like I'm sitting there talking to the guy on the phone about paramotoring, and he goes instantly. He walks outside and he's got a paramotor flying around. That's pretty instantaneous.
Mhm. Mhm. And that it happens a lot with me, and my psychic abilities is just on fire, dude. Like
Mhm.
I put people like pretty much in their place with my psychic abilities. It's like they end up being shocked, like you get that shock and awe, like like holy shit, like how, like you get goosebumps all over your body, and you're like wondering how the hell do you know this, like how, like I didn't even tell you anything, like I don't even know you.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I'm like, dude, it's just when you're very empathic, and you're like what I am. I'm a psychic medium empath. So I'm my empath is so like strong, and it's so sensitive that I feel people, and I
Mhm.
have like I feel the energy, and I'm
Yep.
very good with feeling energy, and I just hear things, and I hear, and also I hear things from people that are not here, that are passed on,
Mhm.
that are dead, and I hear their messages, and sometimes I pass it along to their loved ones, and
Mhm.
made people cry. Like
Yeah.
literally, I couldn't even talk like how I'm talking, and I try to keep it under control, but the other line is like they're sobbing and crying,
Yeah.
and
Because
you
you
know,
touched them, yeah.
yeah, it's like my mom, she's and I had a couple. It was individuals in UK. It was a female and her brother, and they got contact with me, and they wanted to get in contact with their mother, and I told them some stuff that only they knew that their mother knew, and they got a confirmation from that yes, it was her communicating with me and letting them know, and they both just started crying.
Right. Not cool.
I felt so
Yeah.
uncomfortable a little bit. I felt uncomfortable because I didn't want to make them cry, but they were bawling out crying. And I was
Yeah.
like, "Do
But it
you
was
want me
like,
to give you a moment, so you could, gather yourself?" Like, yeah, yeah, we're sorry. It's just,
no,
you know,
those are healing tears, though. That's stuff that's getting resolved.
yeah. And
Because you're in.
it's good to cry.
Mhm.
It's good to
Yeah.
cry those, especially when it's so heartfelt and so like, oh,
hmm Beautiful. Yeah, it's healing, and that's what we're all kind of doing is stepping up to our, as our conscious bubbleness expands. And I tell you, when I first got my expansion bubble in 2009, I felt gang stalked afterwards quite a bit, and
mm-hmm,
that was just me not realizing that to be responsible for my energy output and my energy, receptiveness. So I was
mm-hmm,
just feeling somebody else's energy can freak people out. It's a little bit disorienting.
mm-hmm,
And then the government or nefarious aspects know that happens, and they're going to pump that negative fear stuff out there because they want you locked into that belief
mm-hmm.
because you're going to stay out of their way, and they're going to get their system still going to run, catered to them. And all right.
You got to keep the beast moving. You got to keep the beast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just the way it is. But
Yeah.
that's why I say, like, even in the government, there's psychics in the government. They even had a unit in the army, a psychic unit. It was a special
Mm-hmm.
unit only for psychics.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the
And
military.
I kind of wonder why. Well, just say if we believe all this narrative that we put out, a lot of us put out, a lot of truthers, a lot of other people on YouTube, because there's agents and stuff that work on there too, and psyops. But when they put out all that information that locks us down to that belief system, it doesn't have to be just the government. There's like nefarious people, like people that are cons, just been in prison a bunch of times and they can't get a normal job, realize, hey, I can pick up this narrative and run it on YouTube and things and get people bought into it and profit off it. They're going to, oh, I got to check in every day with this guy, find out how that close the world is ending, and pay for that victimization of it. So I realize people that don't change you don't see progress with their narrative or their processes. They're just using it,
Mm-hmm.
They're not being totally authentic and honest. So, and again, do we believe there's a faction of good people in the government too?
I believe there's good.
Yeah, and
There's a lot of good, but then there's a lot of crookedness too.
yeah, and again, when they want us to believe that this government and all we need to do something about it. Well, it's not actually just all of us that need to do it. So it's the other people in the government, the ones that are good, that are in the government, that are in a position to do something about it. None of us are all in positions to do anything about it. So all these people that tell us the victimization narrative need us to go what? Tell our family and tell our friends and workmates about this, like it's going to fix it. It doesn't. It doesn't.
It's going to go though. It can't take it any further without the powers, to be, hovering and bringing you down too. So it's like you're gonna try to help and try to speak out, but then you're gonna have someone trying to put a hand over your mouth.
But I don't see that happening. Richie from Boston or Dane Wigington, they're out there promoting that message.
Richie,
unstoppable. They're unstoppable.
Richie doesn't live far from me.
Okay, what I'm saying is this: is why, if he was having any effect on him telling us that shit, why wouldn't they use all those weapons they supposedly have to silence him? They don't. They want him to go out there and say all that stuff because they know it locks us into the fear narrative. So I don't think that actually the weapons and all the things they tell us they have and that they are and they can use, that they actually have. It's easier to just get us to make us believe that they have them, and then we start producing the effects. So we start producing the weapons and using them on ourselves because we believe they're there. We believe they're being used. When I believe chemtrails and all this victimization was doing that, my life sucked. I mean, I lived like it was happening. I couldn't told you otherwise. One way or another, I said it was going down now. It's happening. I couldn't break free from that narrative that they had me under. So.
And that's a constant narrative. That's a narrative that's it doesn't go away. It ain't gonna go away. And the government, that's just its own. That's like another story, another show on that because.
Yeah, so I'm just happy to.
They want more fear than anything, because they're fearful. It's like, believe what you want to believe. If you believe we have this, then that's what we have.
Yeah, well, they also know that the real secret is that our minds, our thoughts, our beliefs, and our feelings create the reality that we're around. So if they can get us to attach, believe, and accept their narrative of how they want us to be, they'll put us right there. Exactly how they're doing it. But I don't think they're okay. Since they know that, they don't actually have the weapon out there that they have to be immune from. And think about it. Okay, if 5G and antennas and all these frequencies are so bad, how come the cops are just fine? I mean, these cops are going to sit there and cook their brain in a box, and it's killing us, but it's not them. God.
You're talking about 10, 12-hour shifts.
And tell you that, and they're those devices are on them at all times. You see their big computer in there. They got the X-band radar all wired up. So they get
their walkies.
All of that shit. But these assholes out here that are telling us 5G's killing everybody and starting coronavirus. Are you kidding me? And you ask them, what about the police? You don't think the police are going to be affected first? What? I mean, come on. Once the police start being affected, how are they going to stop anybody from taking the towers down or something? You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. They just want us in that fear of victimization.
They want us to think that. They want us to be put in that train of thought.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And another thing is that they really don't want the masses to know about the cosmic, because that's why Richie's from Boston is a flat earther. No space, no cosmic radiation, no grand solar minimum. They don't want people prepared. They want you to think of them doing this and that to you, and you to run around and disempower yourself and disfranchise yourself from everybody else because they think you got the knowledge that's going to fix and save everything. And if nobody listens to you, then you know what I'm saying? It elevates it, makes it us and them right away. Oh, me, because I know what's going on, and everybody else that doesn't know what's going on. I don't get that. I mean, I thought I knew what was going on way back then, and I thought, oh, 7 billion people, and there's only a few 100,000 of us on YouTube here that have inner knowing working for us. That everybody else's connection to the source and God is broken. But these people that are on YouTube trying to tell us that don't make sense.
No,
Nope,
it really doesn't.
does not. I'm not the smartest person, and I went through my
But we're not being censored, like
and my
to talk.
yeah, and my awakening was neither quick, painless, or without event and distraction. And so when people go out and think they can just start telling this information to other people and see the aha moment in them, nope, it didn't happen that way for me. You take this stuff in, and it, you know, slowly starts working in on you, and you start buying into it. But anyway, hey, I appreciate talking to you, Rick. Man, this has
No,
been
no,
great.
same here, man. No, I love talking about it. I love talking to you,
Mhm,
and it's
mhm.
always a joy. And I got my medicine. My buddy came by. He's like, "Man, here's some strawberry cough," and I
Oh,
was
excellent.
nice. So he's like, hopefully it'll help your stomach issue and make you feel at least a little euphoric for now.
Mhm,
Like
mhm.
it, I wasn't gonna smoke, but I was like, my stomach's just really not cooperating with me, and it feels like I'm being like manipulated in a ways, and I've had this happen to me last year, and it's happening to me again, and I'm like, no, I don't want to have these problems again.
Right, and I realized with me because I have some issues with my stomach and things. It was because I had taken too many antibiotics in my life, and it strips out the good stomach flora. You know, the bacterial flora, the probiotic bacteria that's in your stomach, and it gets replaced with you know not good, not good flora. And so I have candida, as a, just a stomach yeast thing or whatever. But so I realized that sugar feeds it, and that sugar is in so many of our products. It's hard to even get away from. You know.
Yeah, because they don't really they tell you what it's made and everything, but they try to hide it so you don't get to see what like the ingredients and stuff. Because like the ingredients, they should be kind of like highlighted and the bigger letters and
Mm-hmm.
more of a bolder color looking, so you'll know what's inside the product.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
They try to hide that as little as they can, so you don't
Yeah.
know what's in it,
Yep. They don't want us to know.
what you're putting in, because like how many people actually read the ingredients of what they eat?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Exactly. And basically too is that once we get trained or we get ourselves we preference certain type of things, we just go with it. You know, I mean, if the body health effects are going to be severe, we're going to face them down the road when it's kind of too late. You know, you're going to be stuck with those type of things. So I'm glad I woke up eventually and like I got off soda completely. I was hooked on soda pop.
Oh, nice.
And
I love to hear that, man.
then
Like,
I went a long time where I realized that it's not just the sugar, it's the carbs
it's
because
the
carbs
carbs.
turn
Yeah.
into sugar. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And it's so harmful to the body. And it's
Mm-hmm.
just like I cut soda a long time. I knew, like, so some okay, this is my story. I knew when I was little there was something wrong with soda.
Mm-hmm.
Something told me when I was little, and I remember having dinner with my family, like my mom, my dad, my sister, and it was me, and they would try to give me Coke, and I'm like, I don't want that. They're like, what do you mean? You got to drink something. I was like, I don't want that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't want it. And my mom would give me a cup of water. It's like, all right, well, you don't want Coke? Well, here's water. And then I got adapted to drinking water, more water. And I
Mm.
cut all sodas, like pretty much I went from drinking dark sodas like Coke or Pepsi and stuff like that, then to drinking Sprite and 7 Up, and then to ginger ale, and then to just water. And now the only soda that I actually put in my system is ginger ale.
Mm-hmm.
I just do it because of my stomach and it helps
Yeah.
me sleep at night.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, water,
Yeah.
water.
And now that I've got off it, it's not like I have. It's not like I'm fighting it anymore. But for a few months there, when I was getting off it, I was so trained myself into having it all the time. I thought it was really hard. It seemed, hard to not at that point. But now that I've got this much time under my belt, it's pretty easy.
Yeah. You see,
Yeah.
when you come into my home, you see cases of water. I have like 6 cases of water, and I always get people water, and they come in my home. It's like, you want something to drink? You want water? I got a bottle right there for you.
Very
I'm
nice.
always giving away water. Whoever comes in my home gets a bottle of water.
Yeah.
Like,
Awesome.
yeah,
Very cool.
they're like, oh, I'm not thirsty. No, you need it. Trust me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I just give them a bottle, and I don't, I'm always purchasing like cases of water and having it here because I drink a lot of it. I'm
Hey, I got to go. I have a phone call coming in.
okay. Go for it.
Catch you, Rick. We'll catch you soon.
All right, brother. Take care.
Bye. Bye, bro.
And like
So that was
water,
last
it's like for
time.
me because I'm an Aquarius,
We'll let it go for a
Aquarius
little bit
on
more.
the cusp, as they say, because I'm like in between. But I always felt more of an Aquarius than anything, like the water barrier. And I'm always like, water loves me, and I love water. And when I'm in the water, it's just it for me it regenerate, like I feel regenerated. So it's like that's why I want to go back to Florida. I want to go back to South Florida. I want to go to Crandon Park over in Key Biscayne, Florida. That's down in Miami. It's an island. Key Biscayne is an island, so you have to cross over bridges to get to the island. I think like 3 or 4 islands, 5 islands down after you cross like all the intercoastals, and you reach Crandon Park. And Crandon Park beach number, not the first ones, not the 1 2. 1 2 is not my favorite. There you get more of a rip current, more of a you get more current between beaches 1 and 2, and I don't like that. So beaches 3 and 4 is the best. It's the best. Like when you go in the water, like it's so shallow that you can walk a mile. I think about a mile or half a mile, and you're still in less than knee deep waters. And what I do is like I sit down, like, and the water is so warm. Oh my goodness, it's so warm. No, thank you for coming by, my Sky 5D. I appreciate it. I know you have your life, you have phone calls you got to make and intercept. Me too. I do. Like I'll be like, hey, I'll be right back. I got this because I got a phone call or I got a message that I gotta attend to. I try to multitask as much as I can. I try, but I am smoking this medicine and I'm very hyped up with this medicine. I'm smoking strawberry cough. I think it'll help my stomach at least for tonight to calm me
That's
down.
good shit.
Yeah,
I need some fucking marijuana.
yeah. Marijuana, it's so helpful. It's so good, and so
But when you go to level 2, that's when you get very serious into that shit. I'm like a level 1 user.
yeah. I want to read this. I know who's this. I know who's this. I'm just not gonna say her name. It's about our connection to source that isn't broken, but not everyone on the same level is awareness. So basically, yeah, of said connection. Yeah, I agree. Jay. I agree. I agree that connection, it's like, especially connection with mama. Like, how many people are connected to mama, right? Like Mother Earth, the waters, the nature. like how many people, you know, are connected with nature and connected with the ocean, and not many, you know, and then the ones that are, you know, they seem to be more spiritual and more gifted and more psychic also, you know, especially when you can, like like for me, this is how nuts this is, right? Because I'm so into nature, into trees and plants. Like when I went to a doctor's appointment, this is a while back, this is like a few like months back before COVID. I went to the doctor's office and the plants were talking to me, right? And they would tell me I'm thirsty, and I'll tell the doctor, whoever's there, it's like, listen, um, this plant's thirsty. Can you please give it some water? They're like, oh, for real? I was like, yes, please. Can you give it some water for me? And they do it, and I make sure they do it in front of me, so that way I know that the plant got water. Like today, I went to the supermarket this morning after I did my physical therapy, which I got to talk about that. My physical therapy today was, oof, oof, it was a lot. I did a lot today. I went to the supermarket. I went to Seatown, and I just wanted to get a few things. And then as I was walking into the supermarket, something called my attention. And when I look to the left, I see a big setup of aloe vera plants, aloe plants, and I'm like, I've been wanting. This is like yesterday. I was talking about this plant, and I was like, I wanted an aloe vera plant. And the last time I had an aloe vera plant, my cats destroyed it because they literally like, I got the plant, and then the next day I got my cats. So my cats were just like wild cats at that time, and they were like, you know, being a little disruptive. So they got to the plant and they chewed it up and destroyed it. So I waited until they got older, and now they're older and more mature. And today I just walked in and I see the plants. I'm like, those are aloe vera plants, and they're brand new. They just got them today. And I looked at them and they were so beautiful. And there was this one plant that was calling me, like, please take me. And I'm like, okay, I'm taking you home with me. It cost me $5, 4.99 for a beautiful aloe vera plant, and it's so beautiful. And I know she's gonna do so well here in my home, and she's gonna be loved, and I'll make sure I'll take care of her and give her water and make sure she has, you know, a good home, you know, because plants, they understand you, they understand energy. These plants, you think that they just stay there and they don't move? Like if you put a camera towards a plant, you're gonna see the plant moving. It's gonna be like dancing all over the place, like woo, like ooh, got the shivers. If you put it on like when you fast forward it and you're looking at how what the plant is doing, the plant is constantly moving. They just move so slow that we cannot see them. We can't see them, but they listen. They feel energy. They know energy, and they sense it. Like if you're in a horrible state of mind, you're negative, and like you're always like that's just negative. Like and the energy is horrible. Plants tend to not survive in those homes. Now you go to a home that's full of love and positive energy and good energy, and you just see the plants just flourish and they're happy. Like I'll show you my money tree. My money tree is going almost through the. It's almost reaching to the bottom part of my skylight. It's trying to reach the sky. I'm like, like this is gonna be a little difficult to take care of in the future because this tree continues to grow. I'm like, what am I gonna do with this tree? Like, my money tree. She's so beautiful too. And when I got her, she was so neglected. She was dry. She wasn't happy. She just wasn't feeling good. And I nursed her back to health. And I nursed her back, and she is the most happiest plant I've had here. She's the oldest plant, and I have her. And I got me also a bamboo tree last week. has a nice, beautiful elephant, green elephant on it because I like the elephant designs. They're so cute. And it has on the side, it's a money tree. It's not a money tree, but it's a bamboo tree. The most beautiful bamboo tree I've seen. I for my eyes that I saw, and I was like, wow, how much is this bamboo tree in the window? Ooh, it cost me $15. But I didn't care how much they cost because of the fact that the kid was
That's
like,
up there. That's the end of the laugh. That was funny. He got. I have to stop it. It's just. It was a good laugh at the end. I was feeling really. It was hard to listen to Mike, and this was our last. It was our last conversation we had together, and it was really hard to listen. And we had a great flow in conversation. He's gonna be so sorely missed, and I hope his family gets to watch this. I really do. I mean, I have more video of him on my show. If his family was to ever reach out to me and if they wanted to see the show, I would actually go back and watch the shows because my shows are long. Oh my god, I do long shows. I apologize to the family, to Mike's family, my Sky 5D, my buddy, old friend. He he was a good one. He was an angel. I hear him. He's like, "Thanks, Rick. Thanks for the the tribute to me. That was really nice of you. I could feel it, and it's like it's pretty cool. He's gonna definitely be sending me messages because I can hear him already. I hear the dead, so like I hear the voices. I hear them laughing. I hear it's just their energy. It's just so you know. I know if he could get his friends to come over and watch the shows, if they want to watch some of the older shows that I have um of Mike, I could definitely set that up. I could revise. I could watch the shows. It takes hours. Oh my goodness, it's hours. I've had him a lot of times on my show. So this is when I was coming up. Little by little, I come back on YouTube. Oh, I'm sorry for yawning. When I'm usually feeling good, I'll come on to YouTube and I'll do the shows and stuff. But if I'm not feeling good, there's chances that I don't be doing shows because if I don't feel good, I don't feel good. I don't do the shows. But he made it to 59, and I'm here struggling at 43. Struggling at 43. I'm trying. I'm trying. If I can get into my 50s, I'll be more than happy. Especially if I could get to like 51. That'd be my accomplishment because that's like above the halfway mark. At least I made it to that point of life. Um, it's just life isn't guaranteed to you. You're born to die. You will die. When will you die is the $1 million question. How you're gonna die, that's another million. That's a lot of millions. Okay? but um but when you do die, how are you gonna be respected? How are you gonna be honored? For me, I don't think it's gonna be a big deal. I think it's gonna be a low key because I like low key. I definitely don't want to be in a coffin. So I don't know how they're gonna do the viewing because I'm definitely not gonna be in no fucking coffin. Oh, put me in a box, but don't close the door because I'll haunt you. but I want to be community. Like I want to be cremated. So, but it's something you got to think about, because a lot of people out there they have children, and yeah, it's beautiful. The kids are beautiful. They're lovely, man. They're your heart and soul. And when they get sick, like Gigi's baby, I'm sending him so many positive energy his way, so he could fight what he has going for him. Wish him well. Um, but it's like you have to. It's always a battle. It's always a fight. You know. I'm honored that I've had him in my show, and we spoke, and you saw the flow. I was like, we had really good flow, and when you have two minds that are alike and think alike, and it makes the show just go and go and go and go and go. That show I did. How many hours I did on that show? I know with Mike, I did hold on, 4 hours and 25 minutes. Then I spoke with Mister my good old friend, my Sky 5D man. Whoa, I can't believe like that he's gone. It's just I remember other shows that we were talking about air guns, and he was so big with air guns. They had like all these different type of guns, these different type of air guns, and they shot BBs. And he would go in the back and just start shooting the BBs, and it was so fucking cool. And I would watch him, like I would wake up early in the morning just to watch him shoot early in the morning. And I would be on his channel too. I came on a couple of times on his channel, and I always had a great talk, great relationship with him. Like we were just like we're like water, so smooth, flowing. Like he's gonna be missed. He's already missed, and I know he's here with me. I can feel his energy because his energy is everywhere, and he knows I'm talking about him. He's like, "Hey, buddy, hey, bud, how you doing?" Because that's how he used to do. He used to call me. He called me Rick, and I call him Buddy. It was like it's Buddy Mike. It's my buddy. My buddy passed away, so it's okay. It's part of life. We're born to die, pretty much, and in between is like have the best time of your life. Enjoy life to the fullest. You know, be all that you can be, and stay healthy if you can, and enjoy it. Because you never know when the end is coming, and there is an end point. There's no, there's no hesitation. There's no wait. Mm, when it's your time to go, it's your time to go. So hug your loved one, tell them you love them, and I want to wish everyone a good night, a good evening, good morning, or afternoon, wherever you're listening from and rewatching. Thank you for watching. This was a very special show I set up as a tribute show for my friend, My Sky 5D, aka Mike. Um, Man, you're gonna be sorely missed. You're gonna be so truly missed. So with that said, I want to wish everyone a good night here, and I'll catch everyone on the flip side.